base and an engineer bay actually being put down now by Iris because he knows the Arbiter should know this Arbiter Tribunal is coming up. Second Armory now actually coming up. Four factories, 2 of them pumping tanks and 2 of them should be pumping Goliaths fairly soon. See first person view of Iris here. Can see kind of what he knows. Should know at this point that Bisu has an Arbiter Tribunal, does have that third base, the lower left hand. He's going to be forced to put turrets all over the place to help himself defend. Has a lot of vultures on the field. Now going to be planting mines all over inside of his base just in case to help against those recalls that are going to be coming in, possibly coming in eventually. Now going to spot this inside on the clock. Actually going to get right in, get several probe kills with these vultures. Going to run 2 of them away. One of them is going to fall. Continue mining up behind his main. Now first person view of Bisu here. You know, if you want to learn from the pros, this is the way you do it. Just going to micro around, get his macro going, get his arbiter upgrades and all such shizzle. Did manage to establish that new base at the inside of 11 o'clock, more safer location for him. Actually now going to run up to the upper right side, going to lose a couple of Dragoons in the process. Didn't quite micro tool against those. He's going to be able to put a base at that location fairly soon, though. He's going to need that other base to keep up constant arbiter production, especially if he wants to put up a second Stargate. Turret's going to be coming up for Iris now. Both players haven't really done economic damage, really. No economic damage whatsoever done to Iris, but that's... Oh, Iris almost managed to run in, just spots the base being put up. Did manage to take out the probe before he put down the Nexus, though, so... He's going to put up some mines, now knows the location, has another dropship, looks like it full of vultures this time. Might even have a tank in there this time around. He's going to try to do harassing more scans right inside there, right behind the position. We're going to see what the Bisu spotted. If he spotted that scan, he will be able to help defend against this, but Iris might actually be feeling safe enough. We're going to see what position drops upon. Actually going to drop right upon the same position, right amongst Dragoons. Going to be forced to run right back with a dropship. Barely manages. Oh, one more hit. Barely manages to keep the dropship alive. Would have been horrible for him to lose that. To lose that tank. Was here fan out there shuddering. Girl out there shuddering as you watch that happen. There is a size still up. Another mine goes off. Hits several. Oh, hits a bunch of Dragoons. Takes all their shields away. Never mind a bunch of their health. Yeah, there is a science facility up, so we are going to see science vessels on the field fairly soon. I assume he's not going to be pumping too many dropships. I assume I'm going to get some science vessels to help counter all those arbiters. One arbiter on the field. Vulture's going to run back right into the natural expansion. Going to try to do some sort of harassment. Not going to be able to manage too much. This kind of game Iris wants to play at this point. Wants to go around doing some harassments. Actually, an arbiter over those probes. He actually scans. I believe that was a wasted scan. Scan the probes. Maybe manage to kill one extra probe to do that scan. Honestly, not really one he wanted to do. Science vessels on the field now, though. Turrets defending all over the place, even more turrets going down, so he's going to be very, very careful against those recalls. There's also a base behind at this point. Bisu has established the upper right hand. He's going to have 3 gases and 1 extra mining base. Now, actually, Arbiter now running around, and there is a recall being readied. I believe Bisu is getting a lot of troops. He did have them all in a position for recall, now kind of broke it up a little bit, so he might have decided to cancel that. There are a lot of turrets being put down all over the place, a lot of mines, so Iris is very, very mindful of this, very careful. He knows that a recall is exactly what would be coming for him. And Bisu at the opposite side knows that Iris, should know that Iris is quite defending against that, because Iris does know this is coming his way. So Bisu has to be very careful with his recalls. He has to know exactly what he's going for. Tanks, huge tank line covering both the natural expansion as well as the lower left-hand base for Iris, and turrets being put down all over the place. So Iris can get detection. Actually thinking of getting the the 8 o'clock base at this point. But few Dragoons moving towards that location to try to counter that. Iris going to need a few more forces to run around, do something against that. Second Stargate coming up, so we're going to be 2 Stargates pumping Arbiters. 1 Vulture running up, spotting the amount of forces on the field. 1 upgrades, though, for Iris, and I haven't seen a single... Okay, never mind. There is... Forge on the field, so Bisu is definitely getting some upgrades. Arbiter actually running up, trying to swooping right around those. Oh my god, just gets by the turrets, recalls right into the factory line. All those factories in jeopardy. Arbiter's going to instantly be forced to run a run of his forces back. A lot of Dragoons, several out there as well. EMP going to go off on the forces though, so a lot of shields going down. Tanks moving out in position. The Goliaths there as well, sieging up. Dragoons are still going to be able to take down several of these factories, most likely, unless Iris manages to clear this up. Still not seeing too much damage being done. No SCV kills really. Bisu just going for the production at this point. Haven't seen him really kill any SCVs. Vultures moving in as well, along with more tanks to support. Bisu just running up to his inside 11 o'clock base. Doesn't really have much in the way of supporting this. Arbiter not being able to support his troops through the science vessels on the field. And actually now Bisu running a bunch of his troops down north with the Arbiter to support. Haven't really seen... Okay, I'm seeing the same amount of SCV of SCV saturation. As I saw earlier, just Iris loses several forces, doesn't even lose a single factory, so I think Bisu should have been more successful with that recall. He does manage to take down some of the defenses, most likely has cleared up some of the mines, some of the turrets being cleared up. Now Bisu actually going to run up with all the forces. Factory going to be put on there, most likely going to be canceled. Actually, Iris putting several factories right outside his natural expansion. All the Dragoons running out with help support. A huge tank line, nothing really to help support it, though. Vultures not being able to run through. Just a bunch of Zealots running right into those tanks, but not enough. More Zealots running in to help to support, but I don't think that's enough. Some of the Zealots running in close to take some of these tanks out, but I think Iris has enough reinforcement to clear this out. More Zealots now finally running in for Bisu. They're actually going to run to the lower left-hand base. Bunch of tanks, Arbiter wrong side to support our mines to help out, but the turrets are going to be taken out, and now Iris is going to be forced to run some of his vultures right towards that location. Bisu going to get several Zealots inside. I believe he lost the Arbiter, at least ran away. There are forces to help. We see Iris is actually going to be able to fight this back. A couple of Dragoons and Zealots only fighting there, just trying to clear the positions, focusing on the turrets, also trying to kill some SCVs there. Vultures finally moving into position. There's several SCV kills done here by Bisu, not more successful here than were in the main base. Also several turrets cleared up, but mines being planted all over the place, and Bisu is actually meanwhile taking a base at the 10 o'clock position, so he's now 2 bases over, has a shuttle in play as well. Iris, I gotta feel, is in a bad position. Did manage to defend that, but he lost a bit more. Well, okay, a lot more from his defensive line than he would have wanted. Bisu has put up a crap load of gateways at this point, has 2 Stargates pumping, has that forge, has weapons 2 at this point. Iris is at weapons 1, defensive 1, actually popped a couple of tanks at the 10 o'clock position, is going to try to harass there. This is what Iris needs to go around harassing. He's played a harassing game since the beginning, but not too successful. Does manage to take out several posts, doesn't manage to prevent mining, is going to be able to get those, is going to be able to, get those tanks killed, not managing to get as much damage as he wanted. Vulture now spots the shuttle on the field, not quite sure what those are. Vulture's now running towards that position, trying to do some damage. Cannons being morphed in. Cannons being called in, and just, this is what Iris needs to do at this point. Trying to fight back, trying to prevent Bisu from getting, just keeping this constant macro, but you see with the amount of force that Bisu has on the field, instantly managed to reinforce all of its forces. Iris thinking of taking the inside 5 o'clock position. I think that's horrible early for him. Stasis goes off on all the science vessels. EMP does go off on the Arbiter, but Zealot bombs though coming in as well. Not too successful apparently, but the Dragoons also coming in now as science vessel, getting those science vessels. Stasis is horrible. We're going to see another stasis going to go off. Doesn't hit as many tanks as he would have wanted to, but still a decent stasis there. And Iris is not going to be able to hold this off. Or is he, or what? He still has tanks on the field. Weapons 2 and armor 2 at this point. So it's definitely going to help. Vulture's also there to help support. Only Dragoons, Arbiters there. Nothing much really. While meanwhile Iris has sent Vultures towards the 10 o'clock position. Done a lot of damage there. No probes in sight. Pylons almost taken down. And at this point, Bisu has armor 2, armor 1, and weapons 2, so it's almost so kind of an upgrade battle. Iris, of course, will be able to get to weapons 3 way before than Bisu has his optimal upgrades, although he's going to have weapons 3 most likely at the same time that Iris is going to have those. Fans all there sitting. There got to be a lot of fans of both these players. Bisu has always been a kind of a guy that can elicit really get a lot of fangirls to root for him. He's also always been that kind of guy, I gotta say. But Iris is kind of old school. You always have a lot of people that appreciate him. And looking at the game, Bisu still macroing up. His main, not really much in the way of mining. His natural expansion should be kind of